Welcome to Shop Talk, where you get my honest opinion on current events, life, and sports. Let's get into it. I know we all saying things don't seem right since last week. I think they turned off a machine where kind of alternates our reality, and so people kind of been you've been feeling a little different. Well, we the days seem like they were longer. I'm gonna say I think they were short. I'm not mistaken. So it seemed like everything that kind of laxed itself and got back into the main state that we were supposed to be in. It was a machine that's by the company name of CERN. I think they've been around for a few decades. I think it was 2008 where they kind of had the market crash and everything, and so they've been using it ever so often to kind of alternate reality to control humans. I think they say something about Disclosure Day. Disclosure Day is actually going to be not just about aliens. Disclosure Day is going to let you know about the experiment that we in. We actually in like a simulation for like a video game where everything is orchestrated. Instead of us living to our full potential for as humans, we have super abilities. Humans wouldn't put here on Earth to be controlled. No, we're not put here to be controlled. We actually, if you notice, I don't know if people have been paying attention about the MK Ultra experiments, where they're actually having mind control over humans, where you literally are doing what they tell you to do. And so, from serial killers to everything that's going on in this world, is orchestrated by the devil, demonic spirits, entities is what I call them. Families that have different bloodlines that keeps everybody in a loop. It's a gland that we all have to activate. It's called the pineal gland, that will get us to the next level of being a human being, as far as everything that we've seen that they've shown us, far as like the Jetsons and stuff like that, Star Trek, that's a real thing. And so I've been having premonitions myself. It got confirmed this past weekend where the aliens are living under the water. And so just a few days ago, when you saw the red skies and all that stuff there, they threw it all with the fireworks because the aliens came out the water. And so the thing about it was going to scare people is being left in the dark with certain things for as humans. I think we're an offspring of humans. I'm going to say of aliens. So you got to think, we put a limit on our creator. So we would think that one of the biggest things is, as far as the creator, we know religion was created to separate people. You have all forms of religion. You got people saying, oh, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that, when the whole time God is within us. The edifice is our body. You know, I know on first Sundays, they used to tell us when you take communion, do this in remembrance of God. And so we take the crackers and the grape juice, and we take that. But religion is a trillion-dollar industry. Everything is connected to money. It's an energy, it's a frequency. You know how we say, oh, I need money. You give an energy to that. I have a printer sitting beside me. I could print paper all day long, but there's no value in it. So that's what I say when I tell people on my different social media sites that money devalues humans. So all I've been hearing the last few days, money. Oh, the next 4 years, because it's going to be all for 2030. Oh, in the next 4 years, let's figure out how to get this and get that. If I just told you money devalues humans, why can't you envision a world that we can create for as humans, or we move away from that? everything that's going on in this world is orchestrated by the satanic group of bloodlines. Whatever's going on in this civilization is not of God. This is the devil's playground. The reason we have to have money because of the things that they put in place for us to have. And so, of course, you're going to need money until we able to move into another realm where money is not a thing. What they're hiding from us is another civilization. It's in Antarctica. There's no walls. There's no evil. It's underground. So someone would say, well, why wouldn't it just come up on the surface? Well, the surface is the devil's playground. It's told you it's underneath. They told us hell was underneath. Everything that they told us is a lie. So if I need to control you, I gotta tell you certain things to keep you in line. I don't know if people ever paid attention to. I think it's the Chinese army, used to be Soviet Union, which is Russia right now. Notice how they all marched in they was all synchronized. They was all synchronized. Everybody marched the same. It was dressed the same. Nobody was out of line. That's how they want humanity. Where you're not all over the place. We need you right where we need to be. And so now when you hear people say, oh, they made a sacrifice for this or that, that's a real thing. Because we have free will. Yeah. We have free will. So the free will is, are we going to do what's best for humanity? So when when you see what's going on for us, the celebrities, that was all an energy thing. When you see certain things, that's why we be shocked when we see certain celebrities go their own way. We think people are so happy because of money. But most of the time, that's what's keeping the relationship going. You know, there's people together that was never supposed to be together. That was never supposed to make kids. It's all part of a cycle. Notice the gender wars. Males and females. Back and forth all day long. Back and forth all day long. Look at all the history that was erased for as black people. Black people have been over 300,000 years. Everyone is an offspring of ours. So I think I was reading about, I think it was the Murs, where they were told not to procreate with a certain people that we know of who's been causing havoc since the beginning of time. And so they basically were supposed to leave them in a certain area where you don't mess with them. But like I say, that thing that God created with a woman is undefeated. So they had to go see what it was hitting for, and you wind up procreating with them. Like I say, it's free will. So I'm just telling you, don't procreate with them. They over there for a reason. They just had to do it. So when we see guys turn their back on the same people that raised them, nurtured them, fed them, and all that, you get to a certain point in your life, you turn your back on the same people that look just like you. That's why we can't get on the same page as far as black people. It's all orchestrated. It's not meant for us to get along. And it's like that in every race. They keep people bickering. That's the main thing. You don't want people to see their fullest potential. We can learn from white people as well. Everyone is not demonic. So, but you see the hearings about the MK Ultra. That's a real thing. The mind control. They say they created Charles Manson. Serial killers they're not born. That's something that is created. So the reason the files haven't came out because the CIA is all over it. The 13 bloodlines, they all over it. Everything is orchestrated. Nothing is by coincidence. Nothing that's going on is by coincidence. the civilization that they're hiding from us, there's no evil. Whatever's going on or whatever way you live in your life, that's not happening in other civilization. To me, I think Earth, the way things are constructed, this is hell. This physical realm we in, to me, what's in Antarctica is heaven. That's the biggest form of disclosure. Is gonna be religion. Mind you, I've told people things, and you ignore me because we look at each other as you gotta be a certain stature. We gotta take power from numbers and time and all that. That's man-made. I may have 200 something. I follow 5,000 people. As I took the power away from numbers. We have to learn that. We got to take the power away from things that don't serve us. So when you tell people about, how about these next few years, let's find out a way where we can get rid of the dollar sign. Mind, I just told you, it's man-made. They print that up every day. And we're all slaves to it. I don't care if we're rich or wealthy. We're all slaves to it. You can't make a living without, but everything they sell us, I'll put it on Earth. He created it for us to have. I think we're the offspring of aliens. So when they look at humanity, they're like, what is going on? You're killing my kids, my offspring, I should say. That's why we care for our kids like we do, because that's an offspring of us. That's a soul of us we watching. That's literally a walking soul. We're walking souls. The dreams you're having now is telling us something. I always wonder why I've been getting headaches for so long, since I was 9 or 10 years old. And now it all makes sense. We're a frequency. There's no limit to, we're infinite beings. So if a month ago, my son come running in the front room to me crying. Say, Dad, I saw something. It was black and it was tall. They're trying to control, they open up portals where aliens, they come through. The reason people are scared of what an alien looks like, because it doesn't look good, because they are 50,000 years ahead of us. So it scared him, and I told him, I say that's a form of protection. They've always said, oh, aliens, they demonic. No, they're not. The demonic people already live with it. They live here. They're on Earth. Everyone is not a full human. People are mixed with certain things. That's why you think people want to be celebrities. That's the frequency they give off. That's how they steal energy, and you keep everything afloat. So when you tell people certain things, they'll say, nah, oh man, you losing your mind now. What that is you smoking? Nah. The goal for humanity is to move it forward. When we talk about generational wealth, we're still putting a cap on ourselves. We thinking money. The generational wealth is the forward pushing of humanity. Like I said, money is man-made. You print it every day. I got a printer on side of me. I could print all day with this paper. Where's the value? Money devalues us. I've told you, we're superhumans. Everything I've said has come to pass because we're time traveling. We're all basically from different galaxies. We're in the physical realm. So when I say a realm, that means that's something we could touch. When we sleep, I think we go to different dimensions. We're interdimensional beings, but we're infinite. It's the worst time to get rid of social media. It's too much information amongst humans. That's why we get the information. Imagine somebody telling you going forward, because we're going to have a council. I don't think it's going to be just one person calling the shots. They're going to have a council, because humans still supposed to have order. The reason there's so much chaos because that's how they steal our energy. So I think it's going to be a council. They know that this land belongs to black people. Every leader know that this land belongs to black people. Everything is corrupt. They added time to things that they done to make it seem like they've been. Everything is orchestrated by a bloodline of humans that want to control humans. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work. That's why I tell people all the time, humans think they control everything. That's funny. Jealousy won't be a thing amongst humans. But if I introduce the dollar, that makes you devalue yourself. I'm already devaluing all y'all. Notice what I just said a few minutes ago. We're all a slave to the dollar that they print. I don't care if you're rich or you're wealthy. So that's what we got to realize. I look at social media totally different now. It's information being shared amongst humans. That's all. If you notice, they want to put a cap on what you can learn. A lot of us been scholars since we were young. I've excelled at every part of education. I tell my kids, y'all smart because it's effortlessly. You come from a tree. That's why a woman is so important. I told my mama the other day, I said, the best thing you did was procreate with my dad, because that, when they say it's going to be someone that's going to stop the generational curse, that's why she's so important, because she created me. Not that I'm, like I said, no one is better than nobody. We're all special. Nobody's better than nobody. But if you tell a person that has everything they have in this realm, you can't fathom a world where they can't sell us nothing. They're actually hiding their gold over there. See, the underground cities is that's what they want. They're actually trying to get into that portal. So y'all demonic they are. Because they know once we leave this realm, you won't go to that room. They're trying to get into that portal. That's how demonic they are. They want to be able to control things. I'm hearing numbers of 138 billion that lives in that portal. There's no evil. There's nothing going on that's harmful to a human. Nothing. I think we have dreams. I think it's downloads. And you do with what you will want to do. I think it's downloads. But it's telling us a certain thing. I think I had a dream about destruction the other night. I was threatening many people's lives. And when you got the ups on people, you talk a certain way. And so I had a dream of destroying lives. That's why they say the tongue is powerful. It gives off a frequency. That's why people get scared when you see an alien. But they come out, they live under the water. If you notice, in their agenda 2030, one of the ones is number 14. Go look at it. It's life underwater. They already here. One of the first things God created was in the Ethiopian Bible was sea monsters. Everything serves a purpose. Everything. So we wonder why when we go in certain territories and animals, because He created them for a reason. Everything is here for a reason. It serves a purpose. So when you hear about you going in shark infested waters, you don't think a shark go attack you? You're in their domain. Which I don't understand. People who say, oh, why we can't get off social media? That technology come from civilizations before us who look just like me. We're the architects. We built everything. All the world leaders know who was here on planet Earth before they got it. All the world, I don't care what you look like. Y'all all come from the black people. That's why they was mad at Cardi B the other day. There's a disdain amongst humans where it's one group of people we can keep at the bottom. Told you, the last gonna be first. The last gonna be first. Everything they're doing is a distraction. Anyone still talking about election, you still caught in the matrix. You still calling to me, you don't understand. They not trying to leave. The demons not trying to leave. They want him in place to keep their agenda going. They're not trying to leave. So if they don't do disclosure, eventually they'll come forward. If they come out the water Saturday and you throwing up, because the sun is manufactured. Everything is manufactured. Look how red it was Saturday. Because you hiding that they didn't came out the water Saturday. But you threw up the fireworks. They're going to try to stay in control. I think they have the soldiers under hypnosis. Notice if somebody's sending you to get slaughtered, you'll say, oh, no, indeed. We got be expecting a military coup. Be expecting a military coup. Because they have people under some kind of hypnosis. Well, I know if I do you wrong, I know you're going to rise up against me. So that lieutenant that come forward last week and said, because we put a value on money, oh, he got rid of his military career and all this stuff. No. He going to be divinely protected. That's why it tell you, touch not my anointed. You literally could be hid in plain sight. But you could, somebody say, but he's saying things, but nobody's really doing them nothing. We're infinite beings. There's no limit to us. Master P was just ahead of his time, and he no limit. I'm not here to scare nobody. I'm here to tell you the truth. Things are put in place to keep the human species like we part of the Soviet Union Army, where we gonna be synchronized. Long as I got wars going, that's why the woman is the greatest thing created. That's why a woman is so pivotal. Men know a woman was created to be pursued. Why would you think it's just they would devalue themselves with certain things that they do? Sitting up fussing out the song with Young Miami and all this stuff here. Music puts us in the mood. It's a frequency. It's a vibe. That's why it's all, man, I like your energy. I like your vibe. That's something that's being exchanged with a human. But by us not being perfect, how can we say something about her when it is all bad? It's all bad, but it puts us in a mood. Like I said, ain't really nothing that's perfect nowadays walking this earth anyway. So, but when we fuss back and forth about that, that's what keeps the volume going, the frequency. the chaos. So we talk bad about one another. Oh, you dumb. Oh, you this. No, we're infinite beings. There's nothing stupid about us. The gland that's going to be activated is the one that's going to push us into the new realm. We all listen to music. So you got to sit back. You got to look at it from a different point of view. Why would they want you to escape this prison? If I done told you we did this and we done that, and then people have done their research and like, oh, that's not true, because it's more like a prison. I was telling my daddy last week, it's more like you got a ceiling, you know, like a glass ceiling, but the glass ceiling is like bulletproof. You ain't getting through there. So I put a limit. That's why I say you put a limit on a person's life. We weren't put on this earth to be controlled. That's why social media is so well right now. It's getting better and better. We just got to value one another. We're human. We're humanity. So when we see our offspring, we love our kids. That's how civilizations before us look at us. We're literally being watched by aliens because they're from a different galaxy. And they seeing humans are digressing. The rate y'all gonna kill everybody. And they're trying to create a portal where they could get into the world where I told you it's more like heaven. That's why when you building yourself up and you building your platform, you might get phone calls from a certain person that like, but I've been telling you all this time, you kind of ignored me. You're going to see things happen because it's a natural thing gonna happen. It's going to be organic. You know, for as humans, we're going to be able to mind read. So a person can't lie to you. You can't tell me you love me, and I'm telling you, I'm detecting what you're doing. Because love is a verb, it's an act. That's action. That don't have nothing to do with money. It doesn't have a thing to do with money. We put a value on money. They print it and you put a dollar sign on it. $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. We give it it's an energy. That's why people, I need money. You feel a sense for it. It gives you it's more like it gives us a value. But why the wealthy can't stop getting money? Think about it. You have so much money, you got enough for a few lifetimes. It's not about just money. They want to be able to get to the next realm. So when you see certain things, well, people just can't open their eyes to what's going on. That's why I say music is a thing. I know I was a huge fan of Jay, but now we have to take the blindfold off and see it's a lot of things going on right in our sight. They got celebrities that they like get rid of everything. Like, man, I'm gonna get myself back into the word and stuff like that and get myself right. They'll give it all up. So my goal for me and mine is to move everything to give away this information. I'm already a currency. We're a currency. Now we know as long as we're in this realm, we all gonna have to have money. It ain't gonna happen overnight. That's something we have to do, but something's gonna happen. Well, this place is going to get better than what it is so we could get to the next realm. Every leader knows. That's why people call themselves a dictator. You want to scare people, you want to kill people and all this stuff here because they're not listening to what you're spewing. But they know this land belongs to black people. So we don't have to be devaluing one another because of what we don't have. You don't have what I have, or you don't have this, you don't have that. Everyone is a slave. And so there's no more, we gotta learn to take power from a situation. Everyone is a slave because we can't live on this earth without money. It's truly impossible. So even when you figure it out, they take from you. You know, my wife and I, we figured it out. She figured out in the pandemic certain things. We don't have to be on people's job. American Express, all that. So now once you start seeing things being taken from you, like, wait, okay, what's the meaning of life? It's for us to advance humanity, to not destroy Earth. I had dreams of destruction the other night. It was threatening people's lives. That's why I argue with people, and I don't play about everything. So going forward, we have to realize who we are to one another. We won't have a reason to be hating each other because of a skin tone. We have to realize what we are to one another going forward. But we have to realize God's greatest creation is a woman. That's it all in a nutshell. Because women are the only one could bring forth life. A man makes a life, but she brings it forth. That's why I always say when you see a woman, it's all about how you carry yourself. You don't see beautiful women all the time. Notice I just say I'm married. That don't mean temptation stop. You don't go blind. So even nowadays, even if you tell them you're married, that doesn't mean anything. They still jump in my DM. They don't. It's just about not entertaining them. And mine doesn't even work. And so that's the thing, man. Let's stop the walls amongst the genders. That's what they want. Notice the birth rate has dropped. Women not trusting men. So we're gonna be able to detect a bad soul. I told you earlier in the video, there's people that's together that was never supposed to be together. You was never supposed to procreate. People being with people for what they have and not realizing we all of value. When you look at certain relationships going by the wayside, like, dang, I didn't know they was having marital issues, because people gonna start waking up and seeing the truth. So going forward, that's what we want. So I mean, I'm not scared of disclosure there at all. Fear is not of fear. That's a thought process. Even those amongst us that have stolen from us. If you notice on social media, especially on IG, you have insights now. So there's people that have, you can't see them. They're not going to come in your story. That watch you on a regular. They have stole ideas from you and ran off with it. It's going to get rectified. I always say I won't steal them from nobody. I want to have an original idea. That's what sets humans apart. We all have different sets of abilities. I don't have to steal an idea from you. I'm already that. And the thing called pride is people not going to come and tell you, man, I came on your page and stole this idea from you. different colorways and all this stuff here. Why? Because people don't want to live on the surface. That's why people don't want to work job. This realm gonna get better. It's gonna be livable wage. It's gonna be affordable housing. That's why I said delaying the inevitable. We got people really living in the past. You think you better than the 9 to 5. Always say the things that a woman says she want, affection, love, money, and all that's gonna come from a man that goes to a job. You expecting of somebody who gonna have infinite women at his disposal to just like be faithful? It doesn't always go like that, because there's no one perfect walking this earth. So imagine people that say, I never stepped out on I never did this. Trust me, the thought crossed your mind. We're going to see things and people sever ties going forward. You about to know who you is, and you about to know who you with. You won't have to guess. You'll see certain people go their own way. You ain't got to believe me. Everything I've said has came to truth. Everything. It's all on my ex. I done said it in my story. Everything I've said has come to pass. And I'm going to get better and better. You have to find your niche. But from different parts of the galaxy. There's people that's going to push humanity forward. Jealousy comes from why I don't have that ability. You have an ability. You have to figure it out. I told you there won't be jealousy amongst humans in that realm. Whatever's going on Earth is not in that realm. It's all man-made. So, like I said, like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube at Shop Talk 84. On Instagram, contact_CO, KONTACK_CO. On X, KONTACK_CEO. Like I said, every week, let's have compassion for one another. Especially black people. This place doesn't exist without us. Listen, this place doesn't exist without us. The people that's in charge, they know that. Men in Black is a real thing. They zap things to make it work in their favor. This place doesn't exist without us. I always come under our post. I see things that happen when I come under the post. Nobody is special. Common courtesy about to come back. When social media first came about and a person commented on you like, whoa, somebody paying attention to me? Common courtesy on his way back. That's why I say, watch who you have in your company. We all have special abilities, but there's evil that lives amongst us. It's already here. It ain't on its way. It's already here. It's always been here. So when you doing your thing and all of a sudden you getting certain looks and you get phone calls from this platform or something like that, I always say what I create is going to take care of my kids. Because we got to get to that realm. I'm not saying money going to be not a thing in the near future. It could be. But until we able to get rid of the chaos and move in a certain harmony, then you can move on to other realms. That's why that is more of like a reincarnation. This place doesn't exist without black people. So until next time.